And right now I'm located on Hanover Street once again, as I did a video on this last week or a couple weeks ago. But right here where this vacant lot is, as you can see where the building is no longer here, that used to be attached to this one, was once the Lyric Theater. I'm not sure when this picture was dated, but likely the very early 1900s. I'm still in the area of Hanover Street, but I believe I found what was once the location of the Fogg and James horse stable. I believe it was right here, as I'm trying to line up the picture with these old brick buildings on Manchester Street, which seem to be the ones that are in the picture. So I believe it was right here. The Fogg and James horse stable, located on Hanover Street. And this is another picture that was likely dated to the late 1800s or very early 1900s. And as you can see, this is one of the oldest buildings on Elm Street. And if you look right about here, you can see where there was once a building that existed here before this was built. And as you can see, they got a lot more snow back then than we are right now. This is the middle of January and there's absolutely no snow on Elm Street. And like I said in my previous videos, they didn't have any gas-powered equipment back then, so all the snow removal was done manually, which is crazy when you think about it. That snowstorm looked like it was 3 or 4 feet of snow. And as I'm heading over to my next location on Union Street, I noticed this old building here, which is the Gladses building. I can't pronounce it, but I'll look it up to see if I can find any old pictures of it. I'm sure there's some that exist. But up here, the city is dispersing a homeless encampment. Homeless people they pretty much built a campground around the homeless shelter. Most of the tents are gone, but at one point there was about 100 tents here, and today they are getting dispersed. Because if they don't get dispersed, they'll end up taking over the whole city block, as this camp has been growing by the week. So I don't know where all these homeless people are going to end up in the next week or two, but they're going to find places all throughout the city, so it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say much because my opinion differs from a lot of other people's, so you can leave something in the comments if you want. Yeah, most of it's gone. You couldn't even see that fence a day ago. It was just covered with tents and just garbage. So I don't know where these poor people are going to end up tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, I thought I'd just throw that in. This is also an older service station that probably dates back to the early 1900s. I'd say at least 1920, as that's when the automobile started to get popular. I'll try to dig up some old photos if I can find any. I don't really like filming around here because it's kind of rough and people think I'm filming them. So there's going to be a lot of editing in this video, and especially right now as the homeless encampment just got dispersed, there's a lot of homeless people walking around, so I think they think I'm filming them. But anyway, I'm going to head over to my next destination. And here is an old photo of the Maynard School, dated to the early 1900s. I'm not sure if this was a Catholic school or a public school or a private school, but I'm going to wager that it had something to do with the church, considering there's 4 churches within my view right here. There's one here, one there, another church there, And I believe there's another one right around the corner. But the building is now all apartments. I'm not sure when it was converted, but obviously it was once a school. And that's where that homeless encampment was, by the homeless shelter. So right now there's a lot of homeless people walking around, and they think I'm filming them, but I'm not. But anyway, let's get some footage of this really cool old building. And I read up on this quickly last night, and I believe this building was built in the late 1800s. I think it was 1890, if I can recall. And this building across the street, which is also low-income housing, was once a school. And it is all original, except the windows. So likely this school was affiliated with one of these churches, that's my guess. I'm not sure what the name of this church is, but as you can see, it's really not being taken care of. I'll try to get out of the sun. As you can see, anything that's got wood on it hasn't been painted in a long time, and it's way overdue. It's literally falling apart. And there's another brick building attached to it, which is likely where the priests would stay, I assume. I forget what you call that building. But I'm going to head over to my next destination. But as I was here, I did a quick Google search, and this was once the St. Casimir School, and this picture was dated to 1906. It's a little different as they filled in this middle section and added this fire escape. But this was once the St. Casimir School. And this here is kind of neat. There's an indoor Volvo dealership here. But there's a sweet car inside. I just want to film it. That thing's worth a pretty penny. And this is where I think the location of Stan's paint store was. It led me to Maynard Street, right in this area. And it seems to line up with this high-rise building right here. But I do not see this large building here, which looks like it was built in the early 1920s or late 1800s, so I'm really confused. And this street corner looks a little different as well, but this high-rise looks like the appropriate building. And the building would have been here, which is Veterans Park, or Homeless Park is more like it nowadays. But I think this was the location of where Stan's paint store was. Again, I'm not positive, but I think it was right here due to this high-rise building. And here is a picture on Elm Street from the 1930s, and you can see the banner with the Roosevelt name on it when he was running for president. But as you can see, it looks a little different than it did previously. This is the Beacon building right here. And the building in the picture, which was right here, is no longer present. And it also explains why I was confused as to where Stan's paint store was, because this area has changed a few times, as you can see in that picture. I'm just kind of randomly walking around, but that's the city library right there. And there's also a large granite building there that I'm not sure what it's for or what it is, but I will be making future videos about the larger buildings of Manchester. But as I was walking around this corner, you know, me being a history buff, I never even knew this building existed. This is the Manchester Historic Association building. So someone like me, I should know where this is, and I should be in here studying, which I will. So I'll be having some more accurate information about the history of Manchester in the near future. I'm gonna have to come here on a Saturday or Sunday and just look up some really interesting stuff. But anyway, I thought I'd show you this. And I've got one more picture for today. Short video, as I have a few things to do. Well, we'll take a little jaunt up Elm Street. And right here you can see some faint remnants of some painting that's on this brick that was once for advertisement. It's very faded, but you can still see it. I can see something that cost 5 cents in that corner. Interesting. And I'm heading over to Amherst Street. And this picture looks completely different than what's here now. God, I hate when people paint brick buildings, because that's what it ends up looking like. It all peels and it looks like absolute trash.
Turn right onto Amherst Street.
And there's my location. I got my maps running. But right here on this street corner, I found a picture that's dated to the late 1800s. And as you can see, it looked quite different back then. But anyway, I'm going to conclude this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.